Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to Vidyut Vizard. It's great to have you here. If you enjoy these deep dives into the world of energy, please do take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. All right, so let's get into it. You know, in the world of clean energy, some news is just, well, it's an update. But other announcements, they're like seismic shifts. And today we are looking at what could be one of those huge shifts, coming from a single state in India that might just redraw the entire country's green energy map. So let's just dive right into the main question, shall we? How exactly is one state, Gujarat, planning to become a global hub for renewable energy? That is the big question we're going to break down in this explainer today by looking at their incredibly ambitious new policy for 2025. You know, the policy document itself starts with this really powerful line that honestly sets the tone for everything else. It says that moving to clean energy systems is no longer optional, but imperative. And that's not just talk, you see. That's the real driving force behind this entire strategy. Which brings us nicely to our first section, really understanding why this kind of major shift is so urgent right now. See, this new policy, it's a direct response to two massive global pressures. On one hand, you have the ever-growing impact of climate change. And on the other, there's this critical need for energy security, for energy independence. These two forces are pushing governments all over the world to completely rethink how they power their economy. So with that context, how exactly is Gujarat rising to this challenge? Let's get into the details of their truly incredible ambition. And the answer comes in this document, the Gujarat Integrated Renewable Energy Policy 2025. Now, this is not just some small update. No. This is a complete framework designed to bring solar, wind, and energy storage all under one big, unified, future-ready plan. Now, here's what makes this all so interesting. This isn't just some overnight dream. Just look at this journey. From a tiny 0.16 gigawatts back in 2002 to a massive 41 gigawatts today. That history, that track record of actually getting it done, is exactly what makes their next set of goals so very believable. And those goals, wow, they are staggering. The first big milestone is to hit over 100 gigawatts by 2030. Think about that. That's more than doubling their already huge capacity in just a handful of years. But believe me, they do not stop there. Because the plan then speeds up, aiming for an installed capacity of more than 150 gigawatts by the year 2035. And then it all leads to this truly massive target, 300 gigawatts by 2047. That date is significant, of course. It's to mark 100 years of India's independence. We're talking about long-term visionary planning on a national scale. So it's really crucial to see how this fits into the bigger picture, and this chart shows it perfectly. Gujarat's target of over 100 gigawatts by 2030 is a massive piece of India's national goal of 500 gigawatts from non-fossil fuels. Basically, the state is getting ready to carry a huge part of the country's entire green transition on its shoulders. Okay, so with targets this big, you have to ask, how are they actually going to get there? Let's break down the main technologies they're planning to use. Well, the whole strategy really rests on two very powerful pillars, two things that Gujarat has a lot of, sun and wind. And the policy details a plan to capture both, not just in the usual ways, but through some really innovative ideas. When it comes to solar, they're attacking it from all sides. Of course, you've got the giant ground-mounted solar parks, but it also goes right down to individual homes with the PM Surya Ghar scheme for rooftop solar. And here's where it gets really creative. They're planning floating solar projects on reservoirs and canals, and even agrivoltaics, this brilliant idea that combines farming and making energy on the very same piece of land. And for wind power, the plan is just as thorough. Beyond the big wind parks, the policy is encouraging smaller rooftop turbines. And crucially, it's focusing on wind-solar hybrid projects. Why? To create a more stable, more reliable supply of power. And this is smart. It also includes repowering, which basically means upgrading older, less efficient turbines with new tech to get more power from the best windy spots. But you know, making all that power is really only half the story. How do you make sure the lights stay on when renewable energy can be, well, intermittent? This brings us to the missing piece of the grid, the real game-changing technology that ties this whole plan together. The solution is something called Battery Energy Storage Systems, or BESS. To put it simply, just think of them as giant, grid-sized rechargeable batteries. They are the absolute key to unlocking the full 24/7 potential of renewable energy. And this image shows their role perfectly. These systems solve that basic problem of renewables. They store up extra energy when it's sunny and windy, and then they release it back to the grid when demand is high or when generation drops. This ensures total stability around the clock. Now, what's really forward-thinking about this policy is that it looks beyond just the technologies we have today. It's actively pushing for research and pilot projects in the next wave of energy innovation. We're talking about things like harnessing energy from ocean tides and waves, tapping into geothermal power, and really kickstarting the development of green hydrogen. It's about building tomorrow's energy system, starting today. So when you put all of these pieces together, the huge targets, the different technologies, the focus on a stable grid, what is the final impact? Is Gujarat really setting itself up to become India's undisputed green powerhouse? Well, the intended impacts are massive, and they touch on everything. This policy is designed to create a wave of new green jobs and boost local manufacturing. For the environment, it's aiming to cut carbon intensity by more than 45% by 2030. And strategically, it means building dedicated green energy corridors for power and really cementing Gujarat's place as a global leader in this clean energy transition. You know, when you look at a picture like this, you really start to feel the real-world scale of this change. This isn't just about documents and policies. It's about physically reshaping the land to power the future of a nation with over 1 billion people. It's a truly monumental task. Which leaves us with one final big question to think about. With its all-in-one approach, its massive scale, and its clear focus on innovation, is Gujarat's 2025 policy just a plan for a state? Or could it be something more? Maybe, just maybe, a blueprint for how other regions all over the world can kickstart their own clean energy revolutions.